Yeah, I hope this is starting. Actually, you know what? Before I get started, I'm going to share this to my group, Drop the Armor Dojo. So apparently, this is being shared now. I'm still learning how to use technology. If you're watching this now or on the replay, and sometimes, even though you might be a millennial or tech savvy, quote unquote, if you struggle to figure out all the little details and elements of social media, like me, throw down like an emoji or a reaction right now, because I'm just trying to figure out Instagram. I have no idea what I'm doing. So anyway, if you have some of that where you feel a little like ridiculous that you're still learning social media, let me know I'm not the only one. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? We've never met, but I know you're a fish fan, fish homie from some of the fish groups. Good to see you here. So I want to talk today about language. I got into the most interesting discussion, very interesting to me, this discussion in Drop the Armor Dojo, the Facebook group I started a few weeks ago. You haven't seen me promote it too much, you will soon. I'll be doing personal invites, kind of slowly, organically growing a real community. I'll put a link below. But anyway, we got this great discussion because I asked this question, how do you choose to grow through this current challenging time, this current lockdown, quarantine, struggle that people are experiencing? And there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of challenge, a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of discomfort out there in the world right now. And it is certainly an opportunity to heal, to slow down. But I also see it as an opportunity to grow. And a creator is someone who chooses to take all stimulus as a chance to grow, right? So someone who I respect dearly, who's really brilliant in wisdom, she said, honestly, I'm not trying to grow in this time. That's like the typical cultural meme of that we're supposed to be growing all the time, that everything is supposed to be about getting bigger. And she basically was challenging the language, challenging the concept, the idea that we should be growing through this. But what she shared to me was all growth. It was all about what I consider human expansion. It was all about, what's up, Nate? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. So anyway, we're talking about language, and if anyone out there watching is a stickler for language like me, raise your hand, right? Because that's what this is all about. So we were having this conversation about growth, and she's naming all these things that she's doing to grow. It's like, I'm slowing down. I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to nature. I'm taking in the messages. What's up, Darren? How you doing, brother? I'm taking in the messages of what the world is showing us right now. It's actually time to get rid of all of our connection to ego and our connection to constantly becoming bigger and growing. And so she took exception. What's up, Zach? She took exception to this language around growth, this word growth. And it was fascinating because I instantly thought to myself, like, well, everything you're describing is what I would consider growth. And so I noticed in that moment that I'm taking the word grow for granted. I'm assuming that it means to others what it means to me. And that's just not true. And that's just not fully in service. So what does the word growth mean to you? Especially when people talk about like personal growth. Thanks, Zach. Good to see you, man. Thanks for thumbs up in there, approving, liking, whatever the hell it is. So what does the word grow mean to you? Like literally comment. When you hear growth, what does it indicate? What does it elicit? Especially personal growth or professional growth. Because for me, I try not to let language trip me up, but it can. I try to let language serve me. But I've realized that for me, the word growth, which I use all the time in my content, in my language, in my communication with people I love, it's really not the way that our culture sees growth. Like our culture tends to see growth as getting bigger, as having more. Hey, how's it going, Aaliyah? So I don't see it as getting bigger or having more. I see it as expanding capacity and expanding our connection to our own nature. So what I might call growth is actually related to learning to rest, learning to connect to our intuition, slowing down, becoming more wise rather than becoming smarter, becoming richer in our capacity to connect with our own emotions rather than becoming richer financially. Like, I'm not looking to grow my brand through this challenge. I'm looking to expand my leadership. Oh man, there's a guy who knows something about growth. Thank you, Julian, for engaging in this. Growth is the only evidence of life. Man, I love that. I think that we're always growing, we're always expanding, we're always evolving, but in what direction, right? Because if we're not conscious, we're devolving. If we're not conscious, we're contracting. George James, man, there's a man who knows a lot about growth. I've watched him grow back in the day. We were homies at Bose. What's up, George? So anyway, go ahead and drop your definition of personal growth or professional growth. When you hear the word growth, what does it elicit? Like, to me, it could literally mean the opposite of what most people consider growth. It could mean embracing and allowing our own dysfunction. It could mean slowing down and wanting less. It could mean growing our connection to spirit, to nature, the things that actually take us away from what our very commercialized, capitalized world considers growth. So to me, it's about re-owning and re-establishing and reconnecting with the deepest parts of our humanity. It's not about getting bigger all the time. So I for many years, I'm big on values, right? So anyone who worked with me knows we dig deep into values in a powerful way. We look at what your values mean, how you define them, why they're important, what they look like in your life visually. If I was painting a picture or doing a movie scene, what do they look like? We look at the cost of your values, right? They have huge payoffs, but what's the cost of being committed to your values? We look at how addicted or committed you are, or in alignment or out of alignment you are. But anyway, I'm geeking out now about my work, so I digress. But the idea is, a few years ago, I changed my personal language around my values. It used to be growth, and then it became expansion. Because I want to expand my capacity. I want to expand my humanity. I want to stop believing that I need to be having dominion. What's up, Bob? Dominion over nature, dominion over others, domination of self, domination of soul. I'm the kind of guy who wants to constantly expand my capacity, expand my humanity, and I call that growth. So I want to know what you consider growth, and I want to know, where do you let language trip you up and get in the way and disconnect you from someone's message, or weaken your own message? Where have you actually used language to empower yourself? So I've taken the word growth, I've used it as expansion. I don't consider it gaining all the time. I don't consider it connecting to more or bigger. I just consider it being more related to more capacity to relate to my own humanity, being more capable of experiencing the life that I want, being more capable of living the life that lights me the fuck up, even if that means actually consciously getting smaller for a while, getting smaller on social media, getting smaller in my income, getting smaller in my amount of clients, getting smaller in the work I'm doing to create content and personal branding. I'm often getting bigger, I'm often expanding more, because I know that I can constantly serve more, and I can constantly feel more and intuit more and be more the more that I cultivate my capacity to create. But it also means slowing down, connecting with soul, spirit, and doing less at times. So that's what I got for you today. Hopefully this is helpful. Again, I want to know, I want to hear in the comments or in a respond or in a personal message, what does growth mean to you? What's your definition? And what other words feel more aligned for you when it comes to you moving towards the humanity that you want, the version of you that you want? Thank you. I'm going to drop that link to Drop the Armor Dojo. Come join us. We only have 30 people in it right now, and I'm starting to see this amazing level of human interaction that I'm so pumped about. I can see the vision of it expanding and being a true place where online we create transformational relationships, transformational community through the 4 pillars of transformational relationship, which I need to get in there and do some teaching on soon, or I should say I want to, because it's exciting. But anyway, join us. Have an awesome day. Do your best that you can to expand or grow or deepen or relax or slow down or just be whatever expansion is to you, whatever feels like you aligning more with the human that you want to be. Peace. Love you. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow.